Well, I'm back, and it is summertime. What does that mean? That means a long trip in my Model 3 Standard Plus. This trip will go to Yellowstone National Park and start in Ohio. So we're gonna start in Ohio, go to Yellowstone National Park, stay about probably 3 days at Yellowstone. First 2 days will be probably just Yellowstone itself. And then the third day would be the Grand Tetons. So we got a pretty ambitious schedule here. You will see that we will be leaving on Thursday, and we meaning just me and my car. It's a 250 miles, but really I only get about 230. I'll be leaving Thursday. I'll stop at Springfield, Illinois for probably 2 or 3 hours and look at Lincoln's library. And then I'll leave again, spending about 6 more hours on the road, so 12 hours. On Thursday, I'll be driving, and then I'll arrive in Des Moines, Iowa, which in turn then I will drive 13 more hours on Friday, and then I will stay and arrive at Rapid City, and then I'll drive 13 more hours on Saturday and basically arrive at West Yellowstone entrance. That's a total of almost 40 hours of driving. We will be having probably almost 2,000 miles, and it'll be 6, 12, 34, 56, 18, about 18 Supercharger stations. I will tell you the exact price it takes to charge my car up and how much it costs to get to Yellowstone and of course to get back. I'll be stopping at 3 KOAs on the way there. One, of course, in Des Moines, the other one in Rapid City, and the other one at West Yellowstone, and that's the one I'll be staying at, West Yellowstone, for probably a good 2 to 3 days. So starting Thursday, we're traveling Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then Sunday, we will be spending the whole day at Yellowstone, doing a bunch of neat things. And then Monday, a whole day at Yellowstone again, doing a bunch of neat things. And then Tuesday, we'll be going to the Grand Tetons and spending one whole day there at the Grand Tetons, seeing beautiful nature. And then of course, we'll take off on Wednesday and travel Wednesday, Thursday, and try to get home on Thursday, but I truly doubt it. We'll probably be home on Friday. It'll be a total of probably, I'd say 8 days total vacation. Again, we'll tell you the total cost of it afterwards, but the first trip will be from my hometown in Ohio all the way to Springfield, Illinois, to the library, Lincoln's library. And then from Springfield, we're gonna go and travel all the way to Des Moines, Iowa. So hopefully things will go well. We will see how things occur. I'm really anxious to see how a Tesla will basically be able to be driven at a national park with very limited charging stations. There is one section of my trip that's all in orange, which means if I don't go a certain speed, I won't be able to make it to the charger. So that will be interesting too. So I will let you know how things go tomorrow morning. It's going to be an early morning, 5 a.m. And my son-in-law, it has my Tesla right now, but I'll get it all packed up, ready to go. And again, we are staying at all KOAs just so we can have a charge, and it's much cheaper at a KOA. And might as well sleep in my Tesla. So we will see how things go, and I'll keep you up to date. The next time I see you, it'll be 5 a.m. in the morning, off to my first stop, which will be Springfield, Illinois. Well, here we go, off to Yellowstone National Park, part 2 of the long trip with the Model 3 Standard Plus Tesla. First stop, Abraham Lincoln's Presidential Library, Springfield, Illinois. You'll see all my food on my frunk / drinks. It is raining out here, so I want to get out of here real quickly here. But there's my food, and then you'll see my bed. Right there's my bed. Don't know if you can see it or not. It's a full-size bed. Pretty comfortable. Got my chair in there. A little glamping action. There's my chair. And then you got the full-size bed. And then underneath here, you can't do anything without your charging cord. So you got my charging cord, you got to remember that. because I can't go anywhere without it. A little dirty with my chair, but other than that, we should be okay. And you will see we are going to go approximately a little over 300 miles today. Abraham Lincoln's Presidential Library, Springfield, Illinois. And then we'll go 2 more Supercharger station stopping at 2 more Superchargers, 4 total today. Ohio, off to Yellowstone National Park. 3 days travel. Bye-bye, Ohio. Off to Yellowstone National Park, 2 days of travel in my Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus. 230 miles a charge. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. As you see, the efficiency will not be the best today. We're going to Indianapolis as our first Supercharger stop, and we will have about 17% when we get there. Who knows how much we really have on this rainy day, so this will be interesting here. Here's our trip notes right there. You'll see right now this is 15% and not 17%, so we'll see if it even goes down even more. We have to reduce our speed, we'll see. One thing that's always awesome about the Tesla is the automatic pilot. You'll see right now, it's just basically driving itself. And this is one of the reasons why we can drive 15, 17, 20, 23 hours a day. Just because really, it's not intense driving. I focus in on the road, make sure everything's all taken care of. But it's relaxing, and you can drive a little bit more behind their car. So we'll see. We'll keep this going. Going right into a storm. Nice with my efficiency. It's still about 15%. I did get full self-driving for this trip, so I paid for it $199 per month. I'll probably cancel it after this month. I probably won't need it. So it's kind of driving on its own. You'll see right there. It drives on its own anyways, but what's really nice about this is it passes and then it goes back into the other lane. As you see right here, you'll see it's going back into the other lane, and it finds a spot to go and leaves the spot, and we're still off, and I never touched the wheel. Well, first stop Indianapolis. Weather was pretty good. It broke up a little bit. Rain subsided. We'll be here for about 25 minutes, and then we'll hit another Supercharger station, and then we'll go to Springfield. Looks like in order to get to Springfield, we're going to have to stop at Champaign. There's Springfield right there. There's Champaign, Illinois is our next Supercharger stop. And we should be released here in about 10 minutes. All right, next stop. I'm right now at Champaign, Illinois. I could leave right now and be just fine. But our next stop is going to be Abraham Lincoln Library, and it's going to be in Springfield. I decided to stop, charge up before I went to the Lincoln Public Library and figure this out, get a full charge before I leave the library. So it's a nice little place here. Well, if you're ever in Wacock, Iowa, it's right here. Welcome to Iowa 80 Truck Stop. Sucker is massive. And of course, we got these. Well, we arrived. KOA, trailers. Here we go. All right, got here a little later than I thought. Pitch dark, had to set up my privacy screen. can see, nobody can see inside. A little Tesla privacy screen. I've got my YouTube about ready to go. I got the air conditioner cranked up. Hopefully we have a nice sleep tonight. Here's my pillow. I don't know if you can see it or not. There it is. I got a second one too. So it's one. And not too bad, cozy here. It's not too bad. We're gonna find out. I did this before when I went to Mount Rushmore, so we'll see how this goes this time. But I'll put up a video tomorrow. Tomorrow I got 12 hours of driving, so we'll see how it goes. We stopped 6 times today. All right, good night.
A future GMM episode. When you have to explain the joke that hard.
It's nice and cool in here. You gotta like this.
Pizza, pizza. Yeah, it is. Pizza, pizza. Let's do it.
Good last night actually. It was nice and cold. I'll tell you how much I had to turn the heat on a little bit. It got so cold in here. But I did sleep a good 8 hours. Woke up, used their facilities, washer, dryers, showered, all that kind of good stuff. It's 8 o'clock here, Iowa time. We are gonna leave Des Moines, Iowa about right now. We have 7 supercharger stations to go to, and we're gonna arrive at Cedar Rapids, South Dakota. Right here is the little video or the map. Then Des Moines, Iowa. There's your 7 supercharger stations, and right there is we're going to end up at Cedar Rapids, South Dakota. And after that, you'll see right about there is Yellowstone. So we're going to Yellowstone tomorrow, and that's the orange line tomorrow. A little anxious about that, but we'll see when we get there. So we're already preconditioning for the next supercharger station, and we're off. There's always something at a supercharger station. Even a little park here. Just walk around and get your legs about you again. No matter what, cannot avoid bugs everywhere. A lot of cleaning. The roads are a little different in Iowa and South Dakota. Speed limit 80. I like that. Favorite all-time supercharging station, South Dakota. Look at this. There's the superchargers, and how can you beat that view? Oh man, those mountains. And this thing's so big, he's almost scary. Check this thing out. Well, I don't know if you see it or not, but there is superchargers at Wall Drugstore, which is one of the biggest drugstores, I think, in the world. But I guess I want to go over there and check it out. Wow, what a day. Over 600 miles of traveling, 7-8 superchargers. So far it has topped off. Hasn't been too much money. You'll see the camp setup right there. It's a 30 amp, getting about 12, 13, 14 miles to the hour in a charge, which isn't too bad. It's already been filled up anyways, so it just has to keep topping off. Tomorrow, another big day of driving. I mean, it's a short video because you don't want to see me just driving the whole day, but it was pretty exhausting. But it wasn't too bad. It was as good as it could have been. Tomorrow, though, I'll finally be at my destination, Yellowstone, and we'll hopefully get a good night's sleep tonight. All right, well, it's 5:30 a.m. You're probably saying, wait a minute, you're at the campsite. No, I'm not at the campsite. I am at a Supercharger station because somebody woke me up at 4 a.m. to talk to me right in the middle of the night. You see the sun's kind of coming up over those clouds. You can barely see it right there. Yeah, that was my daughter. She calls and says, hey, Dad, I'm on my way to work. Why don't we talk? Well, it's like 4 a.m. here, and it's what, 6 a.m. there. So I'm awake. I was awake, so I might as well get some good travel time in today. I got 6 Supercharger stations to stop at. I got about 500 miles to go. Not too bad. Nice thing about this, thank you, Sierra, is that I get a great jump on the day and be able to maybe even see some Yellowstone today. Excited about that. We'll see if that happens or not. But we're at our first Supercharger station. This was actually the same one that I was at last year when I went to Devil's Tower and Mount Rushmore, and there was another Tesla back there last time. But either way, we'll see how it goes today. So far, nobody's on the road. It gets pretty bright early here. All right, we'll see how it goes. Well, I took a quick detour. Sundance Kid Jail, they finally finished it last year. Of course, it was being built, but now we'll see it's actually close, if not all finished. Here's a good picture of Sundance. A little quick story about him. There's the Sundance Kid, and there's a little gang there. And he lived in these mountains right here. Now, why did he get the name Sundance? He got the name Sundance because when he was a kid, he used to steal horses, and he stole this horse, and he actually got thrown in jail here for 90 days. That's the only time he's ever been jailed, the Sundance Kid, and he was jailed for 90 days here, and so they called him now, his nickname is Sundance Kid because he was jailed here for 90 days. It's just kind of interesting. Now, and like I told you a little story about him being in jail, there's this picture right there. And there's a little monument. I don't know, the only time I've ever seen a monument of a guy who's been thrown in jail before. Rarely do you ever get a charging station like this. Kind of nothing here besides a hotel. And I gotta use the restroom. All right, here we go. The pathway that's in orange, which means I have to go a certain speed in order for me to make it the whole way. I got to travel a little over 150, 170 miles. We're going to find out if I can make it on one charge. If not, I'll be calling a tow truck. So we'll see here. Well, I made it, and I actually made it with a lot to spare. I got about 11% more left on my battery, so I'm charging up here one last time, and then our next arrival will be at Yellowstone. So we're about 2 hours earlier than I thought we'd arrive, which is nice. Also, this is the first time that I tried to use a charger, and it actually didn't work. It was actually kind of broken. But they had 3 other ones, but this is one that only had 4 charging stations here in Montana. So
geyser right behind me is called Pink Dome. You can tell it's an older geyser because it has all the mineral deposits on the outside, kind of making it look like a volcano. It goes off every 30 minutes. When it does, it shoots off in the air, probably about 30 feet, but don't know if we're close to it or not. Behind me is Sapphire Pool. You can just barely see a glimpse of how clear it is. I mean, you can see the bottom of it. It's so clear. There's so much steam. It's all warm.
Advice about choosing a trail that matches your goals and ability.
Well, I lucked out today. I got to Yellowstone just in time, and I got to see everything that I wanted to see. I'm exhausted. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to sleep hopefully good tonight. I had McDonald's, which I shouldn't have. But tomorrow I'm going to fill in the gaps, Grand Tetons, and some things I might not have seen, and we'll see what we can do. So bright and early tomorrow. I'm enjoying more than anything else is this guy talking. I'm just driving through the park and he's giving me information about Yellowstone. It's a great app. I'll let you know what the app is later.
right, figured out. I have all my Yellowstoned out. Going to the Grand Tetons tomorrow. The issue is if I go to the Grand Tetons, I'll barely make it there. I'll charge up. But from the Grand Tetons to the next charging location takes 3 hours and 24 minutes to get to. And I don't got enough charge to do that. So either I'm going to have to go really slow or the efficiency has to be really good, or I just don't see the Grand Tetons tomorrow. So I got to figure it out. We'll find out tomorrow morning what my decision is. So we'll see.
All right, I'm back in my classroom from the beginning of this trip. Again, taking my Model 3 Standard Plus, which is probably about 225, 230 at best to per charge, to go out to Yellowstone and visit Yellowstone. What are the totals, numbers, geek numbers, I guess you can say. It was a 3-day vacation at the place. So I was there for about 3.5 days doing things here and there. Half a day, meaning I was half a day at Abraham Lincoln's place, and the 3 days at Yellowstone. It was a 4-day travel, 2 days to get there, 2 days to get back. But remember, my first day, I had Abraham Lincoln's area to look at, and then I went to, of course, Yellowstone from there. And it was a half a day to get there to Yellowstone, and then the other half of the day I went and visited Yellowstone sites. I encompassed, this is round trip there and back, 30 Superchargers, about 15 there, 15 back. I was in the car for 66 hours, probably 33 hours there, 33 hours back. It doesn't include, of course, traveling throughout Yellowstone, which was a piece of cake. The price for travel itself, in other words, price for Superchargers and the price for charging at the KOAs, which was nothing, is about $230. The price for lodging, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights. The price for lodging, which was 5 nights, is a total of $225. So the total cost of my trip was $450. I traveled over 4,000 miles, 2,000 there and 2,000 back. Again, that's just a rough estimate. I actually did drive back 33 hours straight. I don't want to say it's easy to do, but it was much easier with the autopilot. I found out that I did get full self-driving before I went, and I had a ton of phantom braking. Not a ton. I had much more phantom braking when I had full self-driving than I did when I had just a regular autopilot. So I'm probably going to get rid of full self-driving and just go with the autopilot. It was nice to change lanes for the full self-driving, but I can just put my foot on the brake, change lanes, and go ahead and autopilot again for a cheaper price. It's not worth the $299 or $199 at least for me a month. A great trip. It was kind of ironic or kind of weird, I guess, because when I arrived there, it was raining the whole time, of course. I think we all know there's a ton of rain during this period of time. More rain since at Yellowstone since 1918. So it did destroy the roads, but the roads were destroyed the day I left. So it was kind of weird. As soon as I left Yellowstone, they closed the gates behind me. Nobody else was allowed to go in. So thank the Lord I was able to see all the sites that I wanted to see. Saw everything I needed to see. I saw Yellowstone. The only thing I didn't see was the Grand Tetons. That's the only thing. Other than that, I saw everything I needed to see. I saw Abraham Lincoln's area. I saw Yellowstone. I saw Old Faithful. I saw the geysers, all the springs. Went to every single park in Yellowstone. It was a very good trip. Enjoyed it tremendously. Kind of a spiritual reboot for me. Listened to a ton of books on tape on the way there and on the way back. So I'm just trying to let you know you can drive long distances with an electric car. Are there sacrifices? Sure there are. But I think the benefits outweigh the cons. And I would do it again. I'm going to do it again next year. Don't know where I'm going to go. But again, it's great sleeping in the Tesla, air conditioned. I'm so much more used to it now. It's very comfortable. So I think it's a great way to travel and see America, even in a Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus, as it only has 230 miles total. I tell you what, I would love to have the long range. I think it would make life so much easier. But again, this is just a little bit of geek numbers. If anybody wants to know them, there they are. So I'll see you next year on my next long trip.